Listen, our next guest is releasing her best-selling memoir on paperback just in time for Halloween.
That's right. Cassandra Peterson left home at 14 to chase a career in show business. Now, you likely know her by her stage name, Elvira. Her Queen of Halloween persona came about in the 1980s, so she got a job at a local TV station presenting late-night horror movies.
The rest, as they say, is history.
Really?
And this month, she released a new edition of her memoir, Yours Cruelly, Elvira. And in it, Cassandra talks about her career, her family, and some of the biggest moments of her life. And we are so excited that she's joining us this morning.
Welcome
Thank you
to New
so
York
much
Living.
to finally meet
It is
this
great
woman.
to meet you. It really is.
Thank you,
Iconic
guys.
in my mind, you know. Years of growing
One
up.
of the things I asked our producer, Allie, I said, is she coming as Elvira or as Cassandra? Because I've never seen you look like this beautiful human that you
Radiant
are. Not that
Cassandra.
Elvira is
Thank
not a
you.
beautiful human either, but it's
you.
nice to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels nice to be out of that drag, I gotta tell you, for a change. You know, I mean, it's fun, but it's
Sure.
also how much makeup can you put on for how many years?
Right.
Right.
Got it.
Talk to us about how Elvira was born. You get the casting call to host this show. This gig gives birth to Elvira, is that?
Pretty much. It was. I was in a group called the Groundlings, a comedy improvisation group, and I heard about a local TV show that was looking for a horror host. I went in and auditioned. There were thousands of people. Everybody off the street just came in. They put an ad in the paper.
It was an open call.
Yeah, it was definitely an open call. And I think my experience with the Groundlings and all that got me the part. But then I did have to come up with a look, a character. And a dear friend of mine at the time, who was an artist, helped me design the outfit. He insisted on the hair being like the Ronettes, the girl group from the 60s. So that's called a knowledge bump, in case you're wondering.
I need a knowledge bump.
Yes. I need just knowledge, period. Never mind a bump. But if I'll take a bump if I can get it. But now, did that look ever evolve, or what you went in on the audition with, is it kind of what you stayed with the entire time?
Pretty much. You actually had a picture up there a moment ago of my first day on the job, and it evolved a little bit. I got a dagger on my belt that we added. My hair kept getting higher. There's the first day.
Wow.
I didn't have dark hose on yet. I didn't have the belt. My hair was a little flat, as you can see. It kept growing.
The knowledge bump was you were gaining more knowledge.
It got bigger and bigger. It got so big one year I looked like a cone head from Saturday Night Live, and I had to like calm it down. It was going through the roof.
Going through the roof.
But yeah, so I went on this little local show, midnight, thinking, oh, I hope this job lasts a couple weeks at least.
Right.
Wow.
Pay some bills.
Yeah.
Right.
And then 41 years later, here I am. Still doing it. It's
Still
weird.
doing it, which is so phenomenal to hear, because we know this business is cruel, pun
You can last
kind of intended.
2 months is a good thing.
Yeah.
It is, you know.
Now, in this book, though, you reveal something a lot of people don't know. Apparently, when you were 4 years old, you suffered 2 years old.
Almost 2, not quite 2, yeah.
2 years old. Third-degree burns.
Yes, a big pot of boiling water. I had the pot for years. Giant pot of boiling water. My mom was making Easter eggs on Good Friday, and I climbed up to look in the pot and pulled the whole pot over on me. So 35% of my body had to be skin grafted.
Wow.
And I really dealt with the scars and the taunting and the bullying, believe it or not, for something like that as a
Ridiculous,
kid.
but sad, but
Which
true.
I think pushed me into the world of horror.
Well, I was going to ask, how did that experience inform the next steps you took in your life?
It really did. I think a lot of people that I know that enjoy horror kind of connect with the monster somehow in horror. You know what I mean? Because they feel like an outsider or kind of a misfit, and they connect with the monster in horror movies. It's strange. I don't know. It's kind of what happened to me.
Right.
Kids would call me a monster, so I'd go, "Oh, I must be a monster."
Wow. You talk about that now so casually.
Well, I've had a lot of years to deal with it, you know, and my scars. Thank God I grew as tall as I did, because my scars have flattened out and the discoloration went away. I had a lot of surgeries on the various scars, but I honestly, I feel like it's a blessing now. Having had that happen, it changed the direction of my life, and I ended up where I am. So you kind of have to look at, I say in back of my book, let your curse become a blessing.
Sure.
Right. So you've healed physically and emotionally over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something else that was interesting, because I'm always fascinated with Elvis. You apparently had a meeting with Elvis, a conversation with Elvis.
did.
And what was that like?
Well, it's pretty fantastic for me, let me tell you. First of all, I was a huge Elvis fan since I was 5 years old. And secondly, he gave me the advice that really changed the trajectory of my career. I was a Las Vegas showgirl when I was 17, and Elvis told me, you've got to get out of Vegas because this is no place for a young girl.
Wow.
And I got to tell you, he was kind, sweet, nothing too sexy happened.
Sure.
I was 17 years old, remember? But he gave me wonderful advice to get out. He sang with me on the piano and said, you have a nice voice. Why don't, I had only been singing in my choir at high school, you know, but he said, why don't you take some singing lessons? You could be a singer or something. And so I always say, if it wasn't for Elvis, I was the youngest showgirl in Las Vegas, 17. I would now be the oldest showgirl in Las Vegas.
Vegas, look at
Yeah,
that.
I'd be 71. The numbers just switched.
There you go.
Look at you.
He gave you great
71
advice
going
from
on
Elvis.
21. Cassandra
well, thank
Peterson,
you.
my gosh, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you.
The
Thank
book-
We could talk a lot more. There's a lot more in this book.
We've
Yep.
just scratched
the
the
surface.
surface, as they say. Yours cruelly, Elvira, Memoirs of the Mistress of the Dark. It's out now. Find it everywhere. And thank you so much.
Cassandra, what a
you
pleasure.
guys. So
Thanks
much
so
fun.
much.
Thank
So
you.
much. Thank you.